All right, everybody, it's November. You know the drill.
It's fun and people like it.
Okay, it's time for our annual trailer-centric intro. Problem is, we're recording this the afternoon that the new Star Wars trailer is set to come out. It's being released in a few hours, so we don't know what's in it yet. So we decided to record our own trailer for it.
And it's canon.
No, it isn't.
Sorry, I just want this to go the way I saw it. I'm really excited.
We're all aware. So as fans, we're going to say what we think should be in the trailer, like shots of Rey growing as a Jedi.
Yeah.
And maybe like a peek at the Millennium Falcon and whatever upgrades they've made to it. And maybe we'll see a little more of like Captain Phasma.
Well, I don't know. I think our story's done.
Actually, she's super awesome. She's made of silver, and that looks really good on film, so maybe there's more room for her.
Yeah, okay, I guess.
Now, I can't say who told me, but I have it on good authority from a certain R2 unit that will finally find out who Lando's grandchildren are.
Oh, come on! It was heavily implied that he's sterile.
He could adopt, he's wealthy.
Fine, but if that's gonna be in there, then we better catch a glimpse of IG-88's recycling plant.
He's a bounty hunter.
Who lives in a junkyard.
Well, if that's gonna be in it, we better see a flashback of Boba Fett disintegrating Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru, which I know he did.
Well, then maybe the whole trailer should just be a 2-minute shot of BB-8 macking with a Y-wing.
Okay, let's just cool our exhaust ports, okay? We're getting way ahead of ourselves.
You're right.
This is all speculation. We're having a good time. We're having fun. That being said, I think there's going to be a clip of someone finding Luke's severed hand. I hate you! And the person who finds it is Chewbacca's family from the Star Wars Christmas special.
It can't be! It's impossible!
And they were sent to find the hand by Jaa Yowza, the special edition lounge singer from Jabba's palace.
You're breaking my heart.
Who it turned out was the Phantom Menace all along.
Hold me like you held me on Naboo.
That didn't happen. We were lonely. We're doing it again. We have to stop.
Okay.
All of this is just speculation.
All speculation.
Okay, we're done. I'm going to narrate the trailer now.
Why are you narrating it?
You really want to do this again? I've heard what you have to say. I know how I feel about it. I'll be fair and balanced, and I'll give us both what we want to hear, but I'm narrating it.
Fine. I won't say a word.
Good. Okay, here we go. L.A. Meekly presents the trailer for Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi. Take 1. We open on the remains of Han Solo
taking back what he says in the last trailer, and then cut to Watto joining the Rebel Alliance.
God damn it. Hey, listeners of L.A. Meekly. This is Greg here.
We're supposed to split this one evenly.
Oh, we synchronized and everything. That we did that 2-hour workshap where we learned how to talk together, and we failed.
How to talk as one. A social studies class for codependent people.
I couldn't make it.
Well, neither could I because you couldn't make it. Hello, welcome to our November episode 48.
I want to say 48.
Of L.A. Meekly.
Yeah.
Jackie Robinson.
Yeah. We don't know what number he had. 40-something. The movie was called 40-something.
This is 40-something, the Jackie Robinson story. So
you wrote a slur on there. No.
Yeah, I wrote down something really nasty on this piece of paper, and I'm showing it to you now. I'm pointing at it with a thumbs up.
This is the kind of stuff I like, huh?
You know, before we do anything, I just want to say for the last episode, talking about Synanon, I had a certain revelation afterwards that people might be interested in.
You ever get a text message and you can hear the person screaming on the other end? That's what I got when Daniel told me.
Not long after that episode was finished, I came home and my girlfriend was saying that she was talking to the maintenance guy who was telling her stuff about the landlord, about how he was this big time lawyer and he stopped like these weird organizations. And then I realized the name that I had been writing on rent checks for months, Paul Morantz was the guy who brought down Synanon, who is my landlord.
That is insane.
It was ridiculous. I couldn't believe it.
If we were smart, we would talk to him.
If we didn't want to get evicted from our building, we would go and make fun of his struggles. To his face.
To his face. What do we care?
We could carry out the interview via rent checks and eviction notices that I keep getting.
After we did the episode about the movies, I remember talking to somebody about Ma Vida Loca and stuff and how they used to film at that house that burned down, which was the concrete structure where they all meet
Yeah.
for the thing. The person who was talking to was like, oh yeah, I knew the guy that his brother burnt that house down. He was playing with matches, tossing them around, and then burnt that house down. I'm like, what? So yeah, not a big deal. I'm like, really?
I think it is.
I think that's a crime.
Also, you're stealing my glory. We're talking about My Landlord here.
I'm just trying to share because this is an episode where we share because it's Thanksgiving, so we share and we talk about what we're thankful for.
Tout à fait, Greg.
I did it. I learned from you.
This is going to be a different sort of episode. We'll say why, because we have a massive time crunch to get ready for the October show, the live show, which is what we're doing now. We did the one episode, the aforementioned movie episode where Greg just loves adding more to the story about matches and stuff, that arsonist. That was a different sort of episode where we mostly loose conversation talking about that. This is even looser because we have no research this time. We're going to be, since we figured it's Thanksgiving, let's talk about things we're thankful for, things we really like in LA, specific things that we really like about it.
Smog.
Smog, the crime.
That in poor areas you can get all the freeways.
Homicide. Getting mugged on Hollywood Boulevard.
The heat, it's incredible.
I love it. Heat stroke.
Mid-September, I can't even breathe. It's the worst thing that's ever happened. I love it. I love that the rich keep getting richer and the poor just stay the way they are.
Come on.
This isn't that podcast. What is this, Robin Hood podcast?
There was this, I wanted to call him Mel Blanc, but what is the guy who is addicted to pills and then got fired? Rush Limbaugh.
Oh, Rush Limbaugh.
Rush Limbaugh.
I'm slow Limbaugh. Count it.
Gobi. So yeah, this is a very loose episode. It's not for everybody, maybe.
Yeah, it's okay.
Take it or leave it.
We're thankful that you can take it or leave it.
They've left it, yeah. I'm thankful for your free will, which I'm trying to take away from you.
What was that sound? Oh, it's the door they're leaving.
So yeah, a different sort of episode. We each have a list of things that we're thankful for around the city, and we're going to get into it. It'll be nice.
Yeah,
a nice relaxing time. Get into a bath and listen to it. A bath of gravy for Thanksgiving.
Boiling gravy. Burn that skin off.
Oh, also, thanks for coming out to the live show.
Oh yeah, we really appreciate that.
And for those who didn't come, I hope you liked those horrible things we left on your lawn.
It wasn't easy to make that, but I did it. Out of pure contempt and hate for you, I made those things.
I wove them myself with my own teeth.
Teddy bears made of anger. Not a thing wrong with them, except I didn't love them when I made them.
With that being said, let's get into it. No more of this fancy foot.
I'm very thankful for park trails and trails that go through mountains and stuff. That's really great. Me and you took a.
Greg's really opening his heart up.
We took an improv class with somebody, and like she was saying, it's very nice that everyone has trails here, and you should be thankful, and you should go on a trail as much as you can. And I remember thinking, shut up. But
I don't go on trails because that's where I leave my bodies.
Yeah, that's my work area. But she's absolutely right, and I have been going on trails since I was a kid. I grew up near Elysian Park. I used to just walk and end up in a park trail and stuff. And even now, as an adult, I work very close to the Verdugo Mountains trails and stuff. And it's just easier to not easier like it has not ever been hard, but it's very nice to do that. That we live in an area with a lot of different mountainsides and different terrain that we could go to different. There's some in Altadena that have waterfalls, and the ones in Santa Monica Mountains, and there's one in our area, and there's Griffith Park, and there's Elysian Park. There's so many different opportunities.
All these places I've heard scary stories from. So
don't be the thing that the scary stories happen to. Do you ever think about that?
Don't become an urban legend when you go on these walks. I'm not a big
You aren't
walker.
Why is that?
Because it's hard.
But you like to make trips, and you vary into seeing like different landscapes of cascading beauty and all that stuff.
Yeah, I could just look in the mirror if I want to see cascading beauty. I like walking around cityscapes.
Me too.
But going, I do. Whenever I go on a trail, I always really like it, unless it's hot and I forgot water, which is every single time.
And I forget to rub deodorant in between my legs, so my thighs start doing that thing, whatever it's called, shaving.
Whenever I forget to rub deodorant between your legs and you scold me.
What are you doing? And you're going to let me leave the house like this?
Get in here.
Get in here, crazy. I've seen a lot of trails that I'm like, oh, Daniel would like this. But then I'm like, Daniel only likes like grime and city stuff.
The only trail he likes is from the back of an alleyway into the front of an alleyway.
I've seen beautiful things in our city, like 20 minutes away from where we are right now.
There's these hills above Granada Hills that a few times in high school, me and a group of friends attempted to go all the way to the top, and we never made it. And part of me has always wanted to try again to make it up to the top, because we talked to like people coming down, like, you could see Catalina from up there. Wow. You can see Mexico.
I know the hill you took. We had a picnic there one time.
When was that?
We were hanging out in your house one day, and you're like, I think we were out food and we didn't know where to eat it because you won't let me in your house. So we're like, oh, there's a mountain up here. We can go like have a picnic. And then you were telling me
stains. Okay.
You don't know how to eat in public. Yeah, we were talking about the time that you made it halfway up there, and then something spooked you, and then you ran back
Well,
home.
a few times, like I ran into a rattlesnake, and
That's what it was,
I pushed my friend into it and then ran
Yeah,
away.
that's what the story is. Yeah, I remember that fondly.
Like you were saying, there's things you would never expect to see. Like I remember most of the way up there was like a lake on top of a mountain.
Yeah.
And it was terrifying because I'm sure that, Greg's handiwork could be dredged up there.
Nah, I buried Depp. I buried Johnny Depp. I took my dad to Lake Hollywood up there by the Hollywood sign, and he had never been up there, and he lived here, obviously, his whole life. I took him there because I was convinced that it was Father's Day, and I wanted to take him to where I thought they filmed
the Andy Griffith
intro to Andy Griffith. And we were
Come
like,
on, Pa, can't we just recreate it?
So we went.
I can't whistle.
Nah, neither one of us can whistle.
We don't own a fishing rod.
The show would have been called Two Gomers.
The Gomer and Gomer show.
But it turned out to not be that lake. But anyways, we still had a good time. But he had never known that there was a reservoir up there, or that there was this giant, beautiful bridge with dogs carved into it, which is what it is. Do you want to tell your story about the? No, you don't. Never
What?
mind. The shotgun at the train tracks one.
But that wasn't
A
hiking.
trail, yeah. I just like that story a lot.
That was almost a hike up to heaven.
The carpool lane to heaven. Let's go there really quick.
I almost caught the Amtrak straight to the gates of St. Peter, but yeah, it was the hills again. The hills above Chatsworth, and me and my girlfriend and a friend and his girlfriend went because he wanted to go shooting. He goes BB shooting, and he sets up cans up there, right where the train tracks, right where the Mansons are, right where I found out later there was a horrible mutilation body murder.
What? Write that down for me. I want to look it up.
I can't do it.
I'm sweaty. I'm getting caught.
So we went up there and we were shooting, and then it turns out the sound was ricocheting down the hills.
It
And
sounded not like a BB gun.
it sounded not like it sounded, I guess, like
it sounded like the ghost of sound effects from when they used to shoot Gunslinger and Gunsmoke or whatever the hell.
It sounded like the Lone Ranger was back, but he's bad now.
But he's bad now.
We heard drop your weapons. We looked over and we saw just a head poking out, and we're like, what? Holding the gun, if I had swiveled to point at them, it would have been bad, because then 5 police officers with shotguns came pointing it at us and telling us to slowly get away from the guns and to come over here.
That's one of my favorite stories I've ever heard.
So that's why I don't go hiking.
And then you accuse them of stealing your wallet.
I know what happened during the Zoot Suit.
I'm not going to mess around, okay? I read the stories of Sleepy Lagoon, and then the next day, sailors come and beat me up.
Yeah, so hiking's dumb. Let's get into my next one, because it's I'm going to do one that's kind of related to that. Did you have more to say?
They're beautiful, and you should find hiking trails nearest you and go for them whenever you can. They're really nice. And now it's cooling down. It's going to be better.
Okay, so we're done with the hiking one. This is similar to that, but exploring new areas of the city.
Yes.
Starting on a Saturday morning and just going to some area
Yeah.
you don't really know and just walking around and seeing it.
You found El Segundo recently.
No, I didn't really explore there that much.
no?
I just went to the old city town music center hall, whatever it's called.
I think I went there a week after, or maybe 2 weeks after you went there you went to see Plan 9 there with live performance.
That is a perfect example of an area, or even areas you do kind of know, just going to downtown and spending a few hours there. I like it. I like it.
I like it. Oh, baby, that is what I like. That's not how Big Bopper does it, but I'm not the Big Bopper. I'm Big Bopper diet.
Slim Bopper. The real
find-
Slim Bopper.
My dad's birthday was over the weekend, and we went to Ports of Call because we heard that's going to be closing soon.
Ports of Call?
Ports of Call.
Yeah, they're shutting that down.
Yeah, which sucks because it's really great. But I've been there a
it's
bunch
pretty
of
gross.
times, but never
I mean,
when
it's
it
great
was
if you're
packed.
trying to buy a whole lobster shell or whatever they
My
sell.
brother bought the biggest plate of just it's just anonymous seafood, like shrimp and potatoes and
Trawler
bread.
special.
Yeah, exactly. Bottom of the ocean special.
Good luck if you get a dolphin.
It was packed, and there's a bunch of families and
It
stuff.
is always really
it's
crowded
great.
there. Yeah, I remember when we went down there, me and my girlfriend, when the red car line was about to
that's
close.
right, yeah.
And then, that's a perfect example. You go for one reason, and then there's all this other stuff. There's that crafts thing there.
And that whole area is really great, too, because that's such a weird part of LA that you forget. Like, oh, yeah, we're one of the biggest ports in America, and it's right here. And you see all the big ships, and I think there's like a Navy ship that's docked there.
Iowa?
Yeah, the Iowa's there.
Have a little respect.
Terminal Island. And
You were
have to cross-
kneeling when you said the name of that ship.
I was tying my shoe.
You have disrespect for our guns.
I was tying my shoe with 2 guns. I was using 2 guns to tie my shoe.
It's very tricky, and I shot my own foot, but okay, that's my right.
They have the downtown area of San Pedro, which is really great. That exploring the hills is really great. But also they have that big scary steel bridge that leads to Terminal Island,
I hate that bridge
which
so
Tony
much.
Scott jumped off and killed himself. I should be laughing. The director of Top Gun and True Romance.
Really?
Yeah, jumped off that bridge.
Why?
Sad. It was really sad. Suicide. Anyways, yeah, me and my girlfriend were walking around downtown.
A girlfriend reference fest. we're having.
No names. We
You don't know them. Their names are in Canada.
They go to a different podcast.
They live in a different city, and we explore that one. You wouldn't get it.
Yeah, just sometimes walking around downtown, and I don't know if you've seen everything. So it's like through new eyes. Like, yeah, see, we walked by the Cecil, so that you know how it's shaped like an H, right? In the middle, there's
H for hell. hell.
Yeah, H for hell. There's no lights on in the middle. Like, it looks like no one's there. Are you on any missions anytime soon to find something that you've been dying to see? Because I found one thing that I've been hearing about, and I finally thought, I'll look that up, and I found it.
I mean, we went to Catalina Island,
wow,
but we
yeah.
weren't. I knew where it was. I wasn't searching for it.
Okay.
I know you're out there. I know your coordinates, and I can sail to you at will.
There's the band X, the LA punk band X. I'm a big fan of them.
I've been to a few of their shows.
I won a couple bucks at one of their shows. We
On the horses.
We saw them at Hollywood Park before it closed. When the male and female in the band were dating, they were living in Hollywood, West Hollywood, and they wrote their name in the cement, and it's still up. I always heard about it, and then one day I'm like, I should just look that up, and I found where it would be at West Hollywood, and I just haven't gone there yet. It's on Genesee Street.
That was an advertisement
It was
for
Xena
Xena
the
Warrior Princess.
That's how they advertised it back then in the 90s. So they wrote it in cement.
Yeah.
And they also
That's all they had. That was the original
skywriters.
Twitter, writing your name in cement.
And then you share it. Yeah.
You only had so much space because they only do, a square of pavement is only so big.
Okay, I'm going to go next.
Yeah.
You know what I'm thankful for? Hardworking firefighters of the Los Angeles
Oh,
area.
please. Come on. After you're kneeling when you say the name of the...
You didn't kneel when I said AK-47. Why? Yeah, no, we had, the biggest fire in LA County history not too
just a
long
few weeks ago.
over the hills of Burbank and stuff, and in La Cañada. And the fire department came and, of course, saved everybody, and they were working really hard all through the summers. Every summer, we hear about these brush fires and stuff, but very few times do we stop and oh, you know what? You guys are really great, and you're doing a damn good job. And it's scary. It's a scary job to be on a hill with a fire and having
they keep making me pull over when I'm trying to get to work.
They keep pulling me over and giving me tickets. I'm like, this isn't your job.
Thankfully, I haven't had any experience. I don't think I've ever met a Los Angeles firefighter.
Really?
Like paramedics, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so many paramedics. But I don't think I've ever met a firefighter.
I have
Los
an uncle
Angeles
who's a firefighter who doesn't talk about it that much. He just talks about how he hates Obama.
That's the first rule of firefighter.
Yeah. When I was a kid, they took us to the fire station in Monterey Park, which was great, and I loved it, and I wanted to go up the slide. They're like, no. I'm like, but I want to.
Wait, you wanted to go up the slide?
I wanted to climb up the slide and then come down the slide.
You can go down, but you can't go up.
Not the slide, the
pole.
The pole, yeah.
I know what you're talking about. The weird thing is that you wanted to go up the pole.
Yeah.
I want to act out a Three Stooges bit.
I know all the kids are coming down the pole. I'm a little bit different.
A little bit different. I want to get crushed by the people that are trying to get down while I'm going up.
My last experience that I have with firefighters was I was running in an exercise fashion around the Silver Lake Reservoir, and as I'm running, 3 guys for the fire department, they had fire department shirts, were running, and they were running alongside me for a minute. I thought, I'm just as strong as the fire department, and then you
I can
just
keep pace
spin
with
ahead.
them.
And then I saw them maybe 2 more times, and I was trying to finish that 1 lap. Cool. Great men.
That's how you measure how many firefighters strong you are, by how many times they lap you.
I'm -3 firefighters strong.
And they were actually saving people from a brush fire while that was happening, and you're out there exercising. Hot one, boys.
Breathing all that black smoke.
And boy, are they sexy. And my next one, walking around malls.
Oh, boy.
I like walking around malls.
Do you?
I do.
That sounds weird. I don't. I picture you
Sounds
more
weird as
like
oogling firefighters, but sure.
Auga! And then they think it's a fire bell. I know that you like to walk around a lot, and you like to walk around. I always picture you not walking around malls, but walking around like a bazaar in Calcutta, like a marketplace, and people are like trying to sell you apples. I'm like, no, I'm not hungry.
No, I don't need that. I can get them for free when I steal them.
I can get them for free when you're not looking. Which malls do you like to walk around?
Any mall. I like the one in Sherman Oaks, which is near me. That's why I like it. I don't know. There's something about it. I think because my middle school was right by a mall, by the Northridge Mall, and it was almost like a rite of passage once you were in like 8th grade or something. Like, yeah, after school, I'm walking to the mall. We're getting out early. I'm walking to the mall, and I did that and like went to see. I think I saw Cat in the Hat, and I had to run out at the beginning because I ate too many Tina's burritos, which is one of many times that has happened in my life.
You keep thinking it's the Cat in the Hat is the problem. It's not. It's that you eat so many burritos.
I think I have irritable cat syndrome. But yeah, just
I see it.
I don't know. There's something about it. At that mall, it's a little weird because it's mostly like middle school students, and it's like, hey, kids, it's me, twice your age.
Yeah, boy. The guy who won't buy you alcohol because I don't even buy myself alcohol.
Because I don't want it. That's icky. It's just very relaxing to me to just go around the different stores and then go to whichever ones will give me free samples.
Yeah.
I think it's a very Los Angeles thing to hang out in a mall.
That's such a weird... I was just talking to somebody. My cousin lives in my family's... I'm plugging my family today. We're talking about San Dimas, and we're, of course, started talking about Bill and Ted, and like how all those movies of that era, like it was a point in the movie if you're a young person to go to the mall.
Yeah.
If you're a California dude, you go to the mall.
Which I was.
Most of Fast Times at Ridgemont High is at the mall.
Yeah, they were waiting for Cat in the Hat to come out. You don't like it?
I like malls. I spent a lot of time in high school. We would go to the Glendale Galleria a lot, but we also spent time going to City Walk, which is kind of a mall.
I love City Walk.
I know
so
you
much.
do. I have a lot of
really
fond
love
memories,
City
but
Walk.
I'm not like 18 anymore. I don't need to go there every weekend.
You don't have to be 18 to be a kid again. The happiest place on earth, City Walk. You know, maybe that's another thing, because when I was younger and my sister would have sleepover parties, my dad would take me to City Walk to get me away from the sleepover party because they didn't want me there. I don't know. It's always, it brings back good memories.
What's your favorite place at the Galleria? Or not the City Walk?
Let's make this about you again. Your cousin. Is that what you want to hear? My favorite thing, I don't know, because they've changed it a lot lately. They used to have this store where the Dodger store is now that was like a Discovery, it was like a science and discovery store, and of course I like that one.
Of course you did, yeah.
But I really like the sock store. I like going in the candy store. I like going to that IMAX theater.
That's where we didn't see it. Me and my high school friends on the lark went, what's this Lord of the Rings business? And then like every new one that came out, we had to go to that theater and
that's also the only real IMAX screen in the city, I think.
Yeah, but it wasn't, it was just
it's also like $30 to see a movie. And that's what I like. I like paying too much for things.
I like complaining to the manager afterwards, like, what, I paid for IMAX and there's a woman on her phone and what is this, a dog barking in here? I don't even know what's happening.
There's orcs running around. I could hear them behind me.
I like to go because they have a Carl Strauss there, and I like the brewery a lot.
I don't like that. I don't like the food there. Although that Mexican place, I think, was the first place I ever had a burrito.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Were you like 20?
Was there this afternoon. Do you know what carne asada is?
They call it a little donkey.
I used my Google Translate and I ordered a little donkey. They also tell me yes, sir, which in Spanish is something else.
Sounds completely different. They had a bitchin' arcade there.
Did they?
I remember playing video games there, but like not enjoying it.
I think they still have the BB King Blues Lounge there, which was always so interesting to me. The idea that BB King might be there. I don't know if they still have that John Lovett's Comedy Club. Oh, I see another thing. Like I had, because they used to do magic up there.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember once I saw a magic show on my birthday, and he put a bottle of ketchup in a paper bag and then crumbled it up and then threw the bag to me. And for like a month, I kept looking in that bag trying to get free ketchup.
The Dark Sorcerer promised me ketchup, and I would not have it.
I made a pact with the devil for Heinz 52, and I have yet to receive my Heinz 52.
I don't know who my wife's going to be, but when she gets pregnant, he gets the baby. I get the ketchup. I get the ketchup.
Take the baby.
I get
leave
the ketchup.
I don't know. I think it just brings back a lot of LA youthful memories, and I like it. They relax me.
Only thing that relaxes you is that thought.
And my girlfriend has to push me around in a stroller at night so I can fall asleep at a mall.
The next one's going to be... I'm moving on. I'm tired of hearing you.
I mean, sure. I'm not done crying yet, but sure.
You know what I like a lot? Grand Park.
Which one's Grand Park?
Grand Park is right in front of City Hall.
Okay.
Yeah, they have a lot of events. I went for the Mole Festival. I've been there for the New Year's events. I've been there for outdoor movies. The PST, the Pacific Standard Time LA
PTSD.
thing. Yeah, PTSD there, and everyone was crying, hiding under tables. So I've just been to a lot of events there. Every time I go, I'm like, I like that they did this with this space and they didn't have to like move a bunch of families. I'll talk about gentrification in a bit.
Always bringing it up. Always an agenda. Rush Limbaugh here.
Blush Limbaugh because I'm shy.
Blush Limp butt.
Almost had something.
No. I had it. I got
good.
it. No, that's
your
good.
new nickname. We're gonna make shirts of that.
Blush Limp butt.
I see a lot of families, and it's really great. Like see like a lot of kids running around, which is
Blush Lint bra.
Still working at it?
No, I got it twice. I just made 2 slam dunks in a row. Somehow a second ball came on the court and I slammed that in too.
I struck oil. I threw the pickaxe. More oil where it landed. Yeah, Grand Park's amazing, and I've seen like so many good things there, and it's just like, it feels like a really nice area for families to come, and it's a community area. Like it's really neat. There's like a playground, and it seems like people have a good time. Like I have that vision of like when they build the city and they talk about like and there was just a park and everyone met there. Like when we talk about Schutz Park and how everybody used to like meet there and do all the silly things, and that it's like something along those lines, because I don't think about that with Echo Park or like Griffith Park. It's just like, well, we have picnics there sometimes, but
you can get lost in Griffith Park.
Exactly.
But I can see you. Not many people know Grand Park was designed so that you could see anybody anywhere you're standing, and you can also hear them whispering on opposite ends. Try it. If you stand in the mayor's office, you can shout to people and they'll hear you. They designed it that way.
And to stand and have a nice picnic right in front of City Hall, which is a beautiful building and stuff, it's really neat. And you're in the downtown area. You can walk to Clifton's. You can walk to Grand Central Market. You can walk and see all that history and stuff.
I've never spent much time there, really.
No, maybe you should.
Nah, I'll be at Howl at the Moon.
No, you know what? I'll be at Skid Row.
I have another park that's one of my favorite things.
Oh.
Sherman Oaks Castle Park.
Oh, Karate Kid!
Are they there in Karate Kid?
That's where they have their date.
Really?
Yeah.
Where he goes on his first date with Mr. Miyagi? Shirt off.
Mr. Miyagi, you're trying to seduce me.
So you're turning me into blush limp bra. Yeah, Sherman Oaks Castle Park. I know that LA Weekly just put it in their best of thing. Best place from Daniel's childhood. Again, this is another place I had, out of probably my first 15 birthdays, like 8 of them were there. It's just so great because it's city owned, so it's not that expensive. The golf courses are great.
Batting cages are great.
Batting cages are really great. I can't hit anything. And the arcade is great.
Yeah.
Like everything about it is really good. And
it feels like a movie arcade.
But
like,
it's big.
Yeah,
it's really big. One thing I like about arcades is all of the sound effects from everything going off at once.
Yeah,
and it's
fun.
just an overwhelming catch a fish. And then the theme song from Jurassic Park is playing. There's also a smell there because it's kind of by the LA River, and there's this smell that I would associate with like a good time at night. And I think it's raw sewage, but I associate that smell.
It's that water that's in the lake of the golf course.
I really like that place.
Yeah.
I've spent like summer camp, birthdays there. It's a really fun place, and you should go.
We were taking.
And it's popular too.
It is popular. It's like a bumping place on like a Friday night.
It really is.
Yeah.
It really is.
It's hard to park there.
It really was. And that's been Ellie Meekly.
We were walking around to take pictures for the serial killer podcast we did, and we were walking by where Hillside Stranglers had their auto shop, and around that area is where my batting cages used to be. And I was like, we were walking around, and it was hitting me of like having to walk. We used to walk to that Blockbuster and that Little Caesar, and there was a World's Gym. Like I missed that batting cages being there. And
you know what's weird? There was another batting cage that I used to go to that was also next to a Chuck E. No, you said Little Caesar.
Little Caesar,
Chuck E. Cheese. Are they related? Little Caesar and Chuck E. Cheese?
Yeah, they're related.
It's like how the King and Queen of England were related to the royalty in Austria. It's like that. Different kingdoms, but they're blood related.
They're all inbred. Yeah.
What's the fastest pitch you can hit at a?
I cannot.
Let me finish. Mini golf.
As long as it stays really still and no one's looking, I can tap it. I can hit like maybe 60 or 70 if I've been practicing.
Come on. Greg, between you and me, we'll turn off the recording.
I'm a really great ball player.
Five.
Let me tell you that I joined a meetup softball thing for one game, and they threw the high arc softball pitch. I'm like, I'm pretty good at this. It's slow. Couldn't hit a damn thing except my self-esteem over and over.
All I could hit was my ego. Swing and a miss.
That's the name of my romantic comedy. About a baseball player and a young lady.
Mine is I smell raw sewage.
There's a new one I go to. It's called Batcade. That's what it's called. It's called Batcade. It's by the Nickelodeon Studios
where
in
Batman
Burbank.
Goes to play arcade games.
Yeah, it's my new batting cages, and it's pretty cool because they black it all out and they serve pizza. Like,
what do you mean they black it all out?
Castle Park doesn't have a shield from the sun, so
no,
like you're in the
sun. That's why I have to go at night when it's crowded.
Yeah, Batcade.
And everyone's watching.
Oh, look at that loser. Batcade blocks itself out from the sun in the street level, so you're like in the shade hitting the ball. It's pretty cool.
I think the fastest I can hit, like I honestly, last time I went was like, I could do 60. Easy. I don't even think I could do 20. What? All-American.
60 was really hard, and I was consistently throwing the bat in protest. Like, shut up!
You pitch at me, I'll pitch at you! Throwing them back at the machine.
I go to batting cages and I just catch those ball and I catch it, and I just pretend that's a father
I like
figure.
to ump everyone else. That was a strike.
You're out of here, pitcher! You're trying to beam this kid? I'm really happy.
This isn't what we're happy about. It's what we're thankful for.
I'm really happy that LA City Council has agreed to change Columbus Day to Indigenous Peoples Day.
Is that official?
Well, they called today Indigenous Peoples Day. It's official.
Did
I don't know.
Everyone call it that? I know
no, it's
that's
like
some
city by city.
organizations.
It's city by city.
Okay.
LA City and LA County have agreed to do it.
But is it everywhere in LA? Because I saw a thing from the LA Public Library saying we're closed for Indigenous Peoples Day, and then I saw a county thing saying we're closed for Columbus Day.
Oh, then I
Must be
don't know.
2 holidays then.
But I'm really glad that they did that because I've been trying to do a separate podcast, but now I became overwhelmed again. And so I was doing research on like the mission system and rereading the atrocities that happened to the native people, the original people of LA. It was, of course, horrible and never fun after the Spanish game. So celebrating Columbus's mistake of finding the Americas, it's really awful that we were celebrating somebody who found a path and led all the bad people here. Continually tell people that, I found Asia. And they're like, no, it's not Asia.
Those are Indians. No, I've seen Indians. Those are Indians.
Those are Indians. And we were like, yeah, Pangea, maybe. The ice lake melted. I was reading a lot about.
My word of the day was Pangea. I just wanted to get that in. How very Pangea of you.
Did I do it right?
You know, I kind of wish that the Keech and all them were a bigger part of the city.
Yeah.
Like here's a new part of the city I was exploring, New Mexico. I was there recently and everything. The tribes that were there and are there are a big part of the culture
they're
there.
like celebrated.
Yeah. The airport is decorated and that, like everything is decorated in that style.
Yeah.
And I wish that there was more of that here, but there isn't.
It's kind of weird because like I attribute a lot of like South Southwest culture is a lot of Mexican and Native American, and we're part of the Southwest. Like we were originally part of Mexico, but we don't like it's not.
No, not at all.
Yeah, not at all. We're not Southwest the way Arizona and New Mexico are.
No, yeah, I don't know why. I guess because we got more developed as a white city.
That's for sure. Even though we do South,
and I'm thankful for that.
I think a lot of it was that we were so coastal, so we got like it can't be desert and coastal. So like we picked one.
You can have these moccasins or these Huarache sandals,
and then you go to Coachella and you somehow are both, and people get really mad at you, and I'm happy with that. There's always a weird asterisk about Columbus Day, but he was a bad guy.
Yeah, that's more of a recent thing, and it's kind of, don't you think? 10 years ago, I don't remember people saying, but maybe I wasn't woke back then. I was still playing mini golf all the time. I couldn't get my head off of the score, but...
You know, I knew from a pretty early age that Columbus wasn't great. You knew that he found it by accident. That's part of the stories that he found it by accident. And as you get older and older, you start realizing what that meant for the people.
What one man's accident made.
All the Americas and stuff. So a cloud started to form around the figure of Columbus from a pretty early age. So now that they are done celebrating, it's pretty great.
I do wish that there was more native representation around.
For sure. I don't know if it's a bigger presence in Orange County because they also had tribes.
I can't imagine. I've been to Orange County. I don't think there's more tolerance there. I don't think that's what they're known for. I'm going to go to my next one. Okay. Speaking of different cultures, I mean, this is kind of an obvious thing, but being able to find food from any country in the world in Los Angeles and always usually affordable and usually good.
And a lot of variety of it too, I think. I would like to think.
Variety of what?
Like, there's not just one Indian place. There's not just one Ethiopian food restaurant.
There's four. But,
I know all four. Three of them are great.
For that sort of thing there is, but also just like, as you've seen in my apartment, we have a map.
Yes, oh yeah.
We have a map. We scratch off the countries of food we've eaten, which now has a vampire decoration around it, to which Greg realized the world is a vampire.
Set to trade.
We'll see like, hey, we haven't had food from Sri Lanka, and there's not many, but there is one, and it's good.
There was one. It was good.
There was one, and it was good. And then I created man, and he was delicious. And woman inherits the earth.
And it was a cookbook.
Also, in this Best of LA Weekly thing, there was a thing about a Somalian restaurant in like Inglewood or something.
Oh, really?
How many cities in the United States have a Somalian food restaurant?
Yeah, I keep using the phrase melting pot city, but like, yeah, we were so...
have you had melting pot?
Yeah, such a wide city and so many different ethnicities and cultural backgrounds and stuff that we do have the opportunity to, try a lot of different stuff. And you choose it to commit a sin, which is gluttony.
All of my favorite things are just different sins. I'm going to get to adultery next. That's my favorite part.
Wooga!
I like how you can just really anonymously degrade your neighbor's loved ones.
I like how you can just put a mask on and go to any bar and still find someone to kiss you.
I like those up in the hills parties. You
know what I'm saying. Eyes wide shut parties. Don't tell your wife.
Leave the kids at home unless you're into that.
Which you shouldn't be.
Like I was saying, affordable wise, it's not just like, oh, you want to try food from Laos? It's going to cost you $40 a plate. Like, no, I can go to this place that's also part laundry place and get it something for $2.
Our friend Nadav Fleischer took me to an acai bowl or a kai bowl.
Acai.
Acai? Is that what it is?
Okay. I think it is.
I know, I've seen it a million times and I know what it is now. I just don't know how to say it because I never heard it said.
I still haven't had that, but it's like a dessert kind of.
But yeah, it's healthy stuff. But it was in a car wash.
It's healthy.
Fruits and nuts.
That's not healthy.
Why are fruits and nuts not healthy?
You can't have too much of it. You can't have too much sugar at once.
No, you're going to eat Laos food every day, all day?
This is what I'm thankful for. Greg's doctor appointments. That's what I'm thankful for.
Medi-Cal. But anyways, it was in a car wash. It was like in the middle of a car wash, which I'm like, oh, there's like secret food places now?
You have to strap into the automatic car wash thing and they spray whipped cream on you.
It's like a speakeasy for food.
Knock 4 times and say granola and you'll be let in.
Periwinkle. No, we changed it to lilac today. Sorry, come back next week.
Can I get the goji berry finish?
Are you a cop?
Yes.
Yes, I'm hungry though. You know what I like? This is part of your thanks and I'm going to attach my thanks to it, but I didn't write it down. Farmer's Market's great.
Farmer's Market's in general or
in general, but the Farmer's Market at 3rd and Fairfax at the Grove.
Yeah, I love going there.
I love it. I don't think I've ever gone to the same place twice except for the donut place with you.
Yeah, I try not to eat at the same place more than once.
Yeah.
There's that like Peruvian grill place that the line is always too long and I'll never go there because I refuse to wait for my food.
I'll go there the day they roll the red carpet out and say, you guys, we're closed for business because we have one of the LA Meekly guys here. And everyone in the line's like, did they say LA Weekly? Like,
and we say yes.
Yes.
Yes, that is us.
Because that's how we got the in front of the lines because they made the mistake. They think that we're Jonathan Gold. Mine's sort of related to that, but not really. And it's kind of like an abstract idea, but I'm very thankful for
concentric circles.
social media, because it has allowed us to get more visible about fairs and festivals and restaurants and big movie events and parts of the city. And we are able to share parts of the city that we weren't before. Like, you could follow a tag and then find like, oh, what's smorgasbord? And then find out there's this whole smorgasburg.
Which is something I'm upset about, that they call it Smorgasburg because it's from Williamsburg, which makes sense, Smorgasburg, but they didn't change the name for Los Angeles to like Smorgastown or Skid Smorgas. Smorgaskid.
I've been finding more and more about like events that I want to go to, and street fairs and festivals and concerts, and it's really great that this network has built up. It's so weird that there's like some backlash from an older generation saying like we're not talking to each other anymore, and like we're all obsessed with our phones, but like the phone's just telling me where to go to meet people that have similar interests.
Talk to them.
Yeah, I have social anxiety, so I want to look at my phone. I'm supposed to talk to everybody now? When did that become great?
I have to talk to my friends also.
But it's really great to be able to find, like, I'm just become more aware of like what's happening in the city and stuff. Like, I feel like every weekend there's a fun thing to do that we can.
Yeah,
it's really great, and I don't think I'd be able to do that without social media, because there's no like bulletin board of the city that we all go to.
Yeah, it is. There are nice, like the American Cinematheque and all the rest.
Yeah, like if you follow a band,
I only follow one thing.
Like I've been following them at Cutting Flam, and I find out like not only are they performing, we're performing at the Van Nuys Street Festival. We're performing at this thing that Barrio Danny's doing in Highland Park. And it's fun to like link all that stuff up, and I like that a lot of historical societies and museums have really strong social media presence. That way they become more aware, and communities become aware of what they're doing, and that's what it's all about, really. It's the word when you get people to find out what you're doing. What's that word? Not programming.
Coercing? Blackmail?
Yeah, coercing. Yeah, strong arming.
What's that word? Intimidation. Intimidation techniques.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, outreach. That's what I'm thinking. Outreach.
My next one, yours was an intangible created in other cities, but here's something specific to the city.
Oh, God.
I like going to the Hollywood Bowl.
Hollywood Bowl's great. You go all the time.
I'm always there. I'm the Phantom of the Bowl.
We went on a double date there for the Muppets thing, and it was fantastic, and we had a great time. And
yeah, well, someone showed up late.
That's how I roll, kind of late, and then you have to lean over during your favorite part to tell me what I missed.
Yeah.
And I don't even care.
The Muppets made a joke, and then they tripped over each other, and then they all fell down. Okay.
Kermit made that face. You know the one.
Yeah, the fist face. Kermit did fist face. Again, another thing that reminds me of good times from my childhood.
Yeah. You go with your parents, which is really great, too.
I go to at least 2 things every year, usually.
Yeah. How many times have you seen John Williams there?
If he's been doing this for 12 years, if he's been doing it for like 15 years, I've probably been to 14 of them.
Really?
Like there was like a year or two where I was like, I've seen him. Yeah. And then I realized, well, I love him. And then, so I make sure to go every year. But it's just fun. It's a good environment other than everyone around me. But
you can fill it up, and I never feel stuffy because it's an outdoor setting and stuff, and it's beautiful, and you're part of the environment.
Except when it's hot and there's no breeze, like when I went to see
John
John Williams this year.
I had one of my greatest moments of all time there when you and I went to go see the Simpsons show, and we saw Conan O'Brien doing the monorail song, which was one of my best moments of my life.
I just realized we've been there together the last 3 years. We were at Simpsons, ELO, and then Muppets.
Muppets this year, yeah.
All complementary groups to each other.
All about Flash.
All about electric music from the 70s. All of those people. It's fun and accessible for everybody, but at the same time, I also have aspirations of like, someday I'm going to afford to sit down in the front and have my own box and not be surrounded by these people.
These country bumpkins up here.
I'm going to be surrounded by those bumpkins up there who won't respect me because I'm new money.
Have you been to the Greek before?
I've never been.
It's like the kid brother to the Hollywood Bowl, but it's really great. I saw the Strokes there.
I hear that it's a lot of people prefer the Greek because it's smaller and less overwhelming.
But I like how overwhelming the Hollywood Bowl is. Like, like even when we saw The Simpsons, we were so far away that Conan was
there was a time delay.
Yeah, there was time delay. Conan was a red speck with red hair. And I'm like, what is that? But I still like, because we're in a mountainside, we're in Hollywood. Like it's supposed to be like a humbling experience.
You can see the Hollywood sign. You can see that cross across the way.
Yeah,
you can see my favorite house in the city, the hang glider house where the guy who wrote "Move It" lives.
There's helicopters and traffic from the 101 right there. Like it's really great.
There's murderers running across the hills. Packs of wolves trying to eat your picnics.
You want to give a warning to all the people that think they could take the tram over there?
Oh yeah, when we did our episode on them, we mentioned that you can get free tickets on the shuttle by showing your Metro card. Now it's only if you've just used your Metro card
within the last 2 hours.
Yeah, Greg embarrassed himself in front of everybody.
God, the scene I made.
But sir, you haven't used this in the last 2 hours. Why should I?
Run it again.
Recount, please. Yeah, I love it there.
Oh, you know what I'm thankful for? Our old friend, the Archives Bazaar, which I won't be going to this year, and I'm very sad about that.
Well, you won't have went to this year. Correction, dear Gregory.
It's so much fun being there and being around all historical groups and getting all those free goodies, but also finding out like what groups have like a booth there. Like there's the obvious ones, like the film one and all the different library systems in the county, but there's also the baseball reliquary, and there's the
Reliquary.
Is it?
What's a reliquary?
I don't know.
Are you thinking of a reliquary? Isn't it a reliquary?
Oh, reliquary. That's
but isn't
what it
that
is.
where they keep like the bones of saints?
Yeah, baseball reliquary.
Yeah, Babe Ruth is a saint now. Saint Babe. That'll do, ball player.
And we saw Hillhouser's bag there. Like it's just a really neat thing for LA nerds or
His
just
old
nerds.
bag.
That old bag, Lewis.
That is a fun place to go.
And it's that beautiful whatever hole that is at USC. Archives Bazaar to me is what the sun is to Superman. Like it recharges me. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. I do research for stuff. I'm gonna do the best research ever. Then I just read a couple articles from KCT, and I'm like, I think I'm ready. I think I know the subject pretty well.
You revert back to Bizarro Superman once you actually have to get back to
Once
work.
I leave it.
Me research.
The LA River is wet.
My next one, not a place this time, but an experience that I feel like we do pretty often. Driving around the valley at night, I really like.
Yeah, brother.
It's not crowded.
Windows open.
K-Surf playing on the radio.
Surf playing on radio. What I like the most, though, is going from a heavily populated area like Ventura Boulevard and then going up in the hills where it's dead quiet.
We've gotten scared that way before when we, again,
But
in
I
the
like that,
hills of
though.
Chatsworth.
Yeah, but I
when
like that.
We followed some
Oh, my
little
God.
road and then we went like up a crest and then came face to face with two ghoulishly people in a truck.
In a truck. Just like on a little rinky-dinky dirt road that
with
ended
no
right
outlet.
over the... Yeah.
Pitch black all around them.
So we drive up to this car where now we're like headlight to headlight. We didn't even realize there was a car right there. So we're backing up and then they turn their lights on and we start flipping. So I'm in my dad's giant airplane of a truck and I'm trying to turn and then we become so slanted that I think we're going to roll over. We almost rolled over.
Literally died of fright seeing other human beings.
I was going pretty fast down this hill, this dirt road off of like DeSoto, and then this like white truck. It wasn't like following us, but it was coming down the hill after us, and I was like, oh, God, and like making all these dangerous, stupid turns in this giant truck that I could barely control.
And then we look back, and the truck was never there, and the truck had a hook.
And the truck was a little girl from the Ring, like going to Simi Valley or going up the 405, where like it just becomes like dark mountains. I like doing both those things.
I like going down the big, like driving down Van Owen or something like that. I like driving by like businesses.
Oh, like storefronts and stuff?
Yeah.
I think my favorite street in the valley might be Satakoy. I don't know why.
It's weird.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Me, I don't know. I'm a Whitsit man.
I'm more of a Sherman Way guy.
Sherman Way's a great one to drive down.
It is, yeah.
It's relaxing, especially on a cool night with the breeze.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
It's a good way to unwind.
Yeah, I used to do that before, not to brag, not to be too much of a hipster, but before downtown got gentrified, I used to drive around it at night.
I used to drive before cars were invented.
I used to get my horse and buggy and drive around downtown at night, and I loved it. It was just dark and spooky and kind of industrial, and there was a lot of just people walking in the middle of the street just dazed. I'm like, yeah, this is good. I like this.
Yeah, it's the same. It's still like that.
It's something that. There's like drunk white dudes in the street like, Becky!
Those are ghosts.
You know what I'm really thankful for? Protests in Boyle Heights against gentrification. I think that's fantastic.
One of us was going from the heart, and one of us is going from his raging fist of a heart.
The gut. I think it's really great because I was at the Boyle Heights Museum. We did research on Boyle Heights, so I've become a lot more aware of stuff. I've been reading a lot of articles about the gentrification that's happening there. I come from an area that was gentrified. I talked to other people that from different areas that were gentrified. So having them, East LA Brown Berets, and the whole group kind of rising up and saying, attacking people who have no idea what's happening, who come and just buy like a storefront and are like, why is everyone yelling at me? I like that they're at least getting enough heat built up to make a lot of people aware of gentrification, and it's like a word that's becoming more prominent. Not a lot of people are unaware of what gentrification is, and I think that's really great. Even if they aren't as successful as they want to be, I think that just making everyone aware of what's happening to the city, I think that's really important to do, and I'm very thankful that they're out there doing that.
I like orange groves.
I like that I could buy Sunkissed still. Boyle Heights Museum, it's really great. They have a good museum there.
Is that the Vincent Price Museum?
No, I went to the Vincent Price Museum as well, and that was really great too. That PST, the Pacific Center, it's great, and I think it's like because it happened in Latino Heritage Month. It's very Latino based and stuff. It's really great. I'm loving a lot of the stuff that we're seeing.
I can't speak to gentrification. I don't think it exists. I think people are overreacting.
I feel like you're gentrifying this conversation right now, co-opting it and putting a better face on it, and then making it for people like you.
This conversation is brought to you by Aeropostale or whatever that store is called. Hey, sorry.
I'm not blaming you. I don't just blame general white people. I think that
that's my grandfather.
I think there's a lot of heat towards white people. I think it's just rich people. I mean, a lot of them are white, and that's a different system, and that's a different argument. But I think that a lot of rich people are just coming and just being like so blasé about like, yeah, well, and it's also the landlords. So it's this whole thing of like,
hey, don't bring my landlord Paul Morantz into. He's a hero.
He fought cults in LA, okay? Yeah, I think it's really great that they're raising a lot of awareness, and Chicano Pride's becoming like a big thing again. In Trump's America, it's becoming them, and all the small factions of cultural
Rush
backgrounds.
Limbaugh's back again. Blush Limbaugh is here. Brush Lintbra. I got it. I finally got it. Brush Lintbra.
It only took us 58 minutes.
Speaking of gentrification of downtown, something I really like is going to Kings games, Los Angeles Kings, and then afterwards there's a radio show. Again, everything is just, I'm just reliving my childhood.
Yeah, you have Arrested Development.
It's funny. I have Arrested Development season 5 on DVD. After a Kings game on, I think it's AM 790, they have a radio talk show. Like they talk about the game, and then people call in and ask questions, and they have like trivia and answer questions. Just like the drive home late at night through downtown, like the 5 going back to the valley, and listening to this AM radio station with my dad usually. Yeah, listening to people talk things about hockey games that I never even thought about.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
That's something I
very,
like.
when I say the word romantic, I don't mean like boy and girl and kissing.
Oh no, it was very romantic for me and my
I sit
dad.
on his lap as he drives.
Won't keep his hands off me.
You're getting fresh.
Father.
I have a similar experience with my dad and like driving around, and we couldn't go to Dodger games sometimes, so we would just listen on the radio. So we would drive around downtown and
drive around Dodger Stadium.
Just doing laps around.
Can't catch up if we don't stop.
Maybe ball will get hit to us.
Peanuts.
I went to a Dodger game recently, and I went to 2 or 3 this season.
Oh my God, he's just throwing his money around.
Of course, that's great. Of course, that like revitalizes my love for the Dodgers and baseball in the city. But yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about, because like I love listening to games on the radio. I love like that like driving around, being kind of like almost aimless in where we're going, but like just having the game on, or even like the guys on my porch will listen to the game sometimes, and it's just nice to
the fuzzy sounds of a sports event on the radio. I prefer not to listen to a game because I can't visualize it well.
It's really hockey. Baseball's easier. Hockey's different.
Baseball. I mean, there's only one thing that can happen in baseball: they hit the ball or they don't. But take that, you and your dad.
Me and my dad are better.
Me and my dad. We'll check you into the boards.
Well, but I don't know. I thought that was stronger. Sorry.
That's a swing and a miss. Coming to theaters summer 2019. But I love listening to people talk about, people who know what they're talking about, talk about sports on the AM radio. I really like that. A sport that I kind of know about.
You have to take me to a Kings game. I'd really like to go.
Yeah, let's go this season.
I would like to, yeah.
Okay. Wow, he asked me. I can't believe he asked me. Now I don't have to kiss my dad. I finally found a bow. Father, you'll love to know. I found a bow. I have one more. Do you have another one?
I have another one. I'm very thankful for our fans and friends.
Yeah.
All our friends who have been helping us with all the live show stuff. We had a lot of friends with voices and help us with the music for the live show and various things. We've had a lot of friends get the word out for us and stuff. We had people,
and just in the past have generally supported us and gave us mild words of encouragement when we kind of needed it. I do look for, like this in general, there are times where I will be thinking like, man, I can't wait till this day when we get to sit down and record. I really like I can't wait till we get to sit in a empty classroom at CSUN for 4 hours. Really late at night.
After an 8-hour shift at work.
There are times where it's tough.
We're both red-eyed and we want to sleep.
Sure put a lot of work into it. I do look forward to it. And
this is a lot of fun.
I think what better time to announce this is our last episode.
I'm going to eat Greg now. I kill him and ate him, and that's the last episode.
We're like 2 fighting fish. There can be only one fighting fish.
Like a lot of our live shows.
Like our one that went so well. Or so poorly just a couple days ago.
Full of friends and family and fans, and it's great that it's built up enough steam that we could do this.
Thanks.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Okay, we're really appreciative, really thankful for you being out there. I was really hoping that this would be Daniel's big one to end on, but apparently he does not care about the fans, friends, or family.
I'm thankful. This is my last one. I really want to say I'm really thankful for my hairline. I'm just glad I don't look like a co-host. Whatever his name is.
I'm buying hats. What do you want? I'm buying hats. I took notes. I'm buying hats. Okay.
This is my last one that I am thankful for. A lot of times you and me, like I said, are out really late at night doing this or doing comedy or something like that. But I really we often just wander around an area walking, trying to cope with what just happened to us.
Or what's going to happen to us. Yeah.
Late at night. That's something we've been doing consistently for a while.
4 years now.
Yeah, I like it. Just wandering around with you late at night. And
really
then picking out places we want to go eat during the daytime.
And me trying to calm you down from stressing out about things as we're walking by places that could be haunted. Who knows?
And me telling you, don't be so relaxed. You should be a little stressed out.
I think last year after Halloween, me, you, and your girlfriend went out to
Witch's house.
What
are we going to call it?
Spawn Ranch.
We took a quick jaunt up to Spawn Ranch.
She went in for the night, and then you and I walked to Boney Island. And then after that,
that's a perfect example.
We walked for like what felt like another mile or two.
And I was still I was wearing enough of a Charlie Chaplin costume to only look like Hitler and just walking around just trying to find candy and stuff.
Or there was another night where we went to, what's that bakery on Tahunga near your house?
Not Other Door. What is it? It's not, because there's not Amoeba. What am I going to think?
God.
Aroma.
We went to Aroma, and then after that, we were just walking around the area for like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
I love that stuff. Yeah, it's so much fun.
It's great. Ideally, when it's not too cold, but like we need jackets.
Yeah, we need a jacket.
Because I like to look good.
I like to put my hands in my pocket because I'm nervous all the time. So if there's a weather that appropriate for that,
there's a weather coming. It's pocket weather. It's hand in pocket weather.
My favorite slogan from Game of Thrones is "Weather is coming."
Game of Seats, weather's coming.
Game of Seasons, weather is coming.
Recreation of Seats, weather is coming. And that ties back into just everything just kind of being hanging around in the city. I see a theme in mind now that just kind of like aimlessly hanging out is what I like to do.
You're shiftless. That's the word for you. Or we walk around after Mel's driving Mike, and we're just walking up and down Hollywood Boulevard.
Because we wanted to take pictures of something, and it was much further than we thought.
Yeah, we want to take pictures of Capitol Records.
Yeah, but just
and
walking.
we're like, Vine's around the corner.
I can see it from here.
What are we on Highland? We're going to go to Vine? Fine. What's that, 2 miles on
Vine
the
is
freeway?
fine. Again, a perfect example of just being like, everyone else is in bed. We should be in bed, but it's not very crowded out, and we're at a place we like to be in when it's not crowded.
Yeah.
Let's just wander around for 45 minutes before
I
we
wish
go.
there was more things open late at night.
I do, yeah. There's Crave Cafe, which is always good to be at.
101 Diner if we have money for it.
Yeah, which we don't.
We never do. You know what I like? You don't drink, but you do like the bars we go to sometimes. That's a lot of fun. The ambiance of a bar that's nice is like a babysitter where I don't like, you just pay attention to that. Daddy's going to drink for a minute.
We go to King's Dames together now. I'm your daddy. Who's your daddy? The question has been answered. It is I. Good city. Good city that I've grown more of an appreciation for since we've been doing this.
Yeah, every month something that's been here for 60 years closes and we get a new appreciation for it. Goodbye, Portugal.
Like Boney Island.
Yeah, like Boney Island. Yeah.
There's at least 12 things in this episode that aren't going to exist by the time people listen to it. What's the Hollywood Bowl?
What's driving?
Teleportation came out on October 31st.
Oh, they're talking about cold weather. They must be 73.
There is no cold weather anymore. Yeah. The only season is fire season now. Duck season. Yeah. So that's just a mercifully short episode. I know the last two have been really long. We are dedicating time to putting together a good live show. Yeah. So even if you didn't come last time, just know we put a lot of effort into it, and we would appreciate it if you came because I think you would like it.
Yeah.
That's something I'm thankful for. A new year of your
patience.
Lack of apathy.
A new year of your tolerance for us.
Yeah, so this is just a short one, a different little short one.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe you liked it, maybe you didn't. Either way, I'm going to bed early.
It's 9:30. This is the earliest we've ever finished.
Any last words on that?
The city, she loves us.
The city, she's made of tribute episodes.
It's so exciting now that the city seems to be more linked more than usual.
It is exciting.
I find more and more reasons almost every weekend to do a new thing, and I like that a lot.
There's a lot going on, and it's not crazy. I can't afford to go to that.
Yeah.
Most things are, but not everything.
Not everything.
There's still that place in a locksmith shop that Greg wants to eat at or whatever.
It's a blacksmith parlor that he has a sandwich he had finished, and I think it's a really good restaurant.
I'm just going into other businesses and eating the lunch that they haven't eaten. Great culinary scene.
There was a great, real simple sandwich in the refrigerator at a Staples.
They call it turkey on rye. I believe it's Cambodian.
I don't even know what those words mean. Is it one word, turkey on rye?
If you want to make it so that we can afford turkey on rye, how about you leave us a review on iTunes?
That'd be great.
5-star review.
Even just tapping the stars sometimes when you're feeling too
easy.
lazy.
It's so easy. You know, I would be thankful for more reviews. I would be thankful for you being thankful.
As Buddy Holly said, it's so easy to tap some stars. It's so easy to tap some stars.
If you have an iPhone, go to open your podcast app, search for LA Meekly. We're right there. It helps more people find us. It helps us grow a community. It helps us get more accessible.
We're launching a Patreon, which is if you have a couple bucks and you want to spare every month to just help keep operations going for us or help
to cover costs for hosting this online.
Yeah.
To
possibly.
No! Every time we say online, I turn into a wolf monster.
I'm some sort of internet werewolf.
I'm cisgender wolfman.
I'm wolf person. If we want to launch a website or if we want to get some merch going, this is all going to help.
It'll help us do that and to cover costs of buying donuts, which is also something I'm thankful for. Donuts.
Yeah, if you want to just give us 80 cents every episode.
Yeah. Hey, come on, at least $1. Yeah, whatever you can, it helps out. We're going to figure out some things we can offer in terms of perks and all that. But right now, it's just sort of, hey, help us out.
Yeah. You can find us on Instagram, LA_Meekly. We post every day.
Yeah, wonderful pictures of all the wonderful things we talked about that won't exist by the time you hear this.
Yeah, they'll all be pictures of parking lots.
This is the dirt patch that used to be Daniel's childhood.
We're on Twitter at LA Meekly. Follow us there. We're on Facebook.
Like us on Facebook.
Tumblr, LAMeekly.tumblr.com is our main hub. We have an episode archive.
If you want to send us a suggestion or a comment, la.meekly@gmail.com. You can also also send us a recommendation if you or someone you know works at a place that would be good for a field trip episode, a historic place, an interesting place. You know the drill.
Yeah, you know what to do. Daniel and I are going to be performing stand-up in Arizona the second week of November. We'll fill you in on that.
If Arizona still even exists by the time.
It's just going to be General Southwest.
They're going to adopt that coastal vibe, and they're not going to want us anymore.
We hope that you have a really nice Thanksgiving and everything, really nice November. Hope that your Halloween was great. And we'll see you in December for our big creepy episode.
Yeah, if you missed the live one, we will be releasing it as our December episode.
That's right.
But hey, we won't always do that. You got to show up. You won't just figure, oh, they're having a live show, they're going to release it again. Some of them are really bad and we can't release it. That happened once. And you'll never hear it. Yep. Maybe on Patreon if you give us $5 a month and you can hear our worst.
Us at our worst, which you think you know, but you don't know.
You think you know? You have no idea. I'm thankful for that. Yeah, thanks again. I hope you like this episode that once cut down will probably be about 10 minutes. That's been yet another episode of LA Meekly, being grateful for Daniel's childhood since 2013.
Jazz.